Born in Crawfordsville, Indiana, it was clear that James Hellwig was someone special. At the age of 11, the young warrior started lifting weights and eventually competed in bodybuilding competitions. He had an amazing physique and won a few awards. This got the attention of a man named Rick Bassman, who was putting together a team of wrestlers. The warrior decided to join them, and it didn't take long for people to take notice. He, along with Steve Borden, who would later become Sting, got put into a tag team called the Freedom Fighters that eventually became the Blade Runners. Both men would experiment with face paint that would ultimately lead to their iconic looks. After being in a tag team for about a year, the Ultimate Warrior and Sting would split up. In the aftermath, Ultimate Warrior became known as the Dingo Warrior. He grew out his hair, and his popularity began to grow too. This got the attention of Vince McMahon, who brought Warrior to WWE in 1987. For the first couple of months, the Ultimate Warrior exclusively wrestled at non-televised shows. That changed though on August 15th, 1987, when fans around the world would witness the Warrior for the first time. Still being called the Dingo Warrior, the Ultimate One made a pretty subdued entrance compared to how he would enter later on, although he did shake the ropes and nearly knocked off the ring announcer when he did it. Warrior's opponent was Barry Horowitz, who was sort of the Heath Slater of WWE in the 80s and 90s. Ultimate Warrior's first WWE match started with him sizing up Horowitz and demonstrating his strength by shoving his opponent around like a doll. Warrior really showed off his power by knocking Barry Horowitz out of the ring with a shoulder block. Once Horowitz got back inside the ropes, he tried knocking down the Ultimate Warrior again, but the future Hall of Famer continued to counter with shoulders and followed up with a hip toss. Barry Horowitz managed to execute a full Nelson submission hold, but Warrior used his butt to escape and countered with a full Nelson of his own. Barry freed himself from the hold with an interesting rope break, but he couldn't avoid Ultimate Warrior's chops. The momentum shifted when the Warrior accidentally ran himself into the turnbuckles, allowing Horowitz to begin dishing out stomps and punches. Ultimate Warrior made a comeback, but it was shut down when he missed a running elbow drop. Frustrations were starting to build, and after absorbing some more punishment, Warrior dodged a dropkick and started running wild. Barry Horowitz tried to stop it, but he got treated to a Gorilla Press Slam and the Warrior Splash, which was enough to get the pinfall and the victory. The Ultimate Dingo Warrior's first WWE match was nothing special, but I was surprised at the amount of offense Barry Horowitz got. It wasn't a ton, but more than I expected. As you saw, Warrior already had a lot of his trademark moves down. The only major thing left to change was his name. That would happen about 2 months later when the Ultimate Warrior would make his official WWE debut. He defeated a man named Terry Gibbs in under 2 minutes. This would become the norm for the Warrior. The man from parts unknown would begin picking up win after win after win. The first time Warrior didn't win a match in WWE was when he fought Rick Rude in early 1988 due to it ending in a double countout. As we'll see, this wasn't the last time Warrior had trouble with the Ravishing One. Ultimate Warrior would also be unsuccessful in that year's Royal Rumble match, but that didn't ruin his momentum. Quite the opposite. After the Rumble, Warrior got into his first feud when he took on Hercules. Instead of wrestling, Hercules challenged the Warrior to a tug of war with a chain. The Warrior took him up on it and actually snapped the chain in half. Wow, if Ultimate Warrior wasn't a wrestler, he would make a great fisherman. Although, he might break the fishing line. Warrior wouldn't have to worry about that though if he played Fishing Clash, this video's sponsor. My dad would take my siblings and me on fishing trips when I was young, so fishing has always been a positive experience for me. As an adult, it's not easy to just pick up the tackle box and rod, but that's where Fishing Clash comes in. It's a free mobile game where you cast your rod and reel in fish. You have to keep the color in this bar right in the center in order to capture your prey. It's simple but fun. As you catch more and more fish, you'll be able to upgrade your rods, lures, and skills. There are loads of fishing spots to explore and all kinds of fish to catch. One of the coolest features though is the ability to duel against other players. You can also join or create your own clan, which allows you to compete directly against family, friends, or just other anglers. Don't take my word for it. Use the link in the description to download Fishing Clash and try it for yourself. Plus, you can use my gift code TAPOUTCORNER. Just follow 3 simple steps. With the gift code, new players will receive a 3-star rod, 1 mythical lure, 50 luck power-ups, and 30 weight power-ups. This is a $20 value that you can get for free. Just use the code TAPOUTCORNER. Download Fishing Clash right now by using the link in the description. Back to Warrior. After the chain snapped, Hercules used it as a weapon, and the match ended in disqualification. It couldn't just end like that though, so the Ultimate Warrior and Herc went one-on-one again at WrestleMania 4. The match was surprisingly close, with Warrior narrowly winning by getting his shoulders up at the last second. The two would have more matches a little later, where the Warrior won decisively. The Ultimate Warrior then began a bizarre feud with Hercules' manager, Bobby Heenan. Warrior and Heenan fought in not one, but 3 Loser Wears Weasel Suit matches. We unfortunately never got to see the Warrior wear the suit, but it kept him busy over the summer of 1988. Speaking of the summer, at SummerSlam that year, Brutus Beefcake was taken out of an Intercontinental Championship match against the champion, the Honky Tonk Man. The Ultimate Warrior took the spot, and in 27 seconds, he defeated Honky and won his first title in WWE. In the aftermath, the Ultimate Warrior faced Honky Tonk Man in a rematch. However, the Warrior lost via countout, which was the first time someone defeated the Ultimate Warrior in a one-on-one match. That was not the end of the Warrior and the Honky Tonk Man's rivalry, and they fought again in several matches for the Intercontinental Championship. However, they always ended in either countout or disqualification. This eventually led to a no DQ match where the Warrior finally got the decisive victory over the Guitar Man, although they would have a few more title matches till the end of the year. At the same time, Warrior and Honky captained 5-man Survivor Series teams that fought against each other. The Ultimate Warrior won by being the sole survivor for his team. At the 1989 Royal Rumble, Warrior faced off against Rick Rude in a pose-off. The crowd gave the victory to the Intercontinental Champion, but Rude took matters into his own hands and attacked the Warrior from behind. This launched a rivalry between them, and things came to a head at WrestleMania 5. The Ultimate Warrior put the Intercontinental Championship on the line against Rick Rude, who was accompanied by the Warrior's old rival, Bobby Heenan. Heenan proved to be the X Factor, as he held the Ultimate One's legs down, allowing Rick Rude to become the first person to pin the Ultimate Warrior. Not only that, but Rick Rude also walked away with the championship around his waist. This added more fuel to the fire, and over the next several months, Warrior and Rude fought in several matches for the IC title. However, Rick Rude always managed to retain, whether it was from disqualification or countout. Finally, over 4 months after the WrestleMania match, the Ultimate Warrior and Rick Rude fought again at SummerSlam 1989. Thanks to some help from Roddy Piper, the Ultimate Warrior was able to win back the Intercontinental Championship. After Rick Rude, the Warrior began feuding with another member of Bobby Heenan's faction, Andre the Giant. They had a few matches, which the Warrior usually won via disqualification. Warrior's feud with Andre, as well as the entirety of Bobby Heenan's group, ended when Warrior led his team to victory at the 1989 Survivor Series. Still with the Intercontinental title around his waist, the Ultimate Warrior entered the 1990 Royal Rumble match. There he crossed paths with the WWE World Champion, Hulk Hogan. The two went at it, but Warrior ultimately got eliminated by Hogan and 2 other wrestlers. In the aftermath, both Hogan and Warrior agreed they had unfinished business, and a match at WrestleMania 6 was set. Both Warrior's IC title and Hulk's world title were on the line, only making the match even bigger. After an almost 25-minute long bout, Warrior defeated the Hulkster and became a double champion. However, WWE's rules prohibited someone from holding both titles, so Warrior relinquished the Intercontinental Championship. After WrestleMania, the Ultimate Warrior's first feud as WWE Champion was against a former rival, Rick Rude. The two fought in a total of 3 championship matches, finally ending at SummerSlam 1990, where Warrior fought Rude in a steel cage. Even though Bobby Heenan tried to help out his client, the Ultimate Warrior had none of it and won by escaping the cage. The next challenger for Warrior's WWE Championship was Ted DiBiase. The match came to an anticlimactic finish when Macho Man ran in and attacked the Warrior. Randy Savage would then ask for a title match, but the Warrior wouldn't give it to him. This ended up costing the Ultimate Warrior at the 1991 Royal Rumble. During a title defense against Sergeant Slaughter, Macho Man, along with his manager, Sensational Sherry, distracted and attacked the Warrior. This cost the Ultimate Warrior the championship and was only the second time he had been pinned in WWE. The feud was no longer about the championship, so Warrior and Savage fought in a steel cage match soon after the incident at the Rumble. With assistance from Sherry, Randy Savage escaped the cage and defeated the Ultimate Warrior, but the feud wasn't over. They fought once more at WrestleMania 7 with a special stipulation. The loser would be forced to retire. With everything on the line, the Ultimate Warrior pumped up the jam and ran wild. Even though he took 5 of Macho Man's signature elbow drops, the Warrior wouldn't stay down and won the match to put his rivalry away for good. With that behind him, the Ultimate Warrior found himself in a new feud when he appeared on Paul Bearer's funeral parlor show. The Undertaker attacked the Warrior and locked him inside of a casket. To get his revenge on the Phenom, the Ultimate Warrior partnered with Jake Roberts, who taught him the ways of the dark side. This involved tests, like being put inside a casket again and entering a room filled with snakes. However, it was a trick, and Jake Roberts was actually working with The Undertaker and Paul Bearer. This was supposed to lead to a match between Warrior and Roberts, but it never happened. In real life, the Ultimate Warrior wanted $550,000 for wrestling at WrestleMania 7, as well as other demands. Warrior even threatened to no-show SummerSlam, where he was scheduled to team with Hulk Hogan in a handicap match against Sergeant Slaughter, Colonel Mustafa, and General Adnan. WWE agreed to the Ultimate Warrior's demands, and the match did happen, where Hulk and Warrior got the win. However, immediately after the match, the Ultimate Warrior was suspended, and his rivalry with Jake Roberts came to an abrupt end. It wasn't until WrestleMania 8 in 1992 that the Warrior would finally return to WWE. After the main event, Hulk Hogan was getting beaten down by Sid Justice and Papa Shango. Warrior made the save, which was supposed to kickstart a rivalry with Sid Justice. Unfortunately, Sid failed the drug test and was let go from WWE before it could happen. Instead, the Ultimate Warrior had a rivalry with Papa Shango. The feud got heated up when Shango cast a curse on the Ultimate Warrior, causing him to convulse and vomit. This ended up going nowhere though, and instead, the Warrior fought his old rival, Macho Man, who had been reinstated and could wrestle again. Macho was also the WWE champion, so the two had a title match at SummerSlam 1992. Due to Ric Flair and Mr. Perfect, Macho Man's other rivals, the match ended in a countout. But because of this, Macho Man and the Ultimate Warrior formed a tag team called the Ultimate Maniacs. Warrior and Macho were supposed to fight Ric Flair and Razor Ramon at Survivor Series. However, backstage disputes arose again, and this time, the Ultimate Warrior was officially let go from WWE. WWE would remain Warriorless for over 3 years. Then, at WrestleMania 12, the Warrior finally made his triumphant return. He fought Triple H in his return match, no-sold the pedigree, and beat the game in under 2 minutes. After a hot comeback, the Ultimate Warrior made his debut on Raw about a week later. He credited the fans for his return, but was interrupted by the Intercontinental Champion, Goldust. Warrior challenged Bizarro into a match for the title, and it was made so. The Ultimate Warrior fought for the gold at In Your House 7. While Warrior won, he did so via countout and did not become a 3-time IC champion. About a month later, the Warrior got a rematch with Goldust, but it wasn't for the Intercontinental title. Instead, it was a qualifying match for the King of the Ring tournament. Unfortunately, both men would be counted out, and neither one advanced. Shortly after this, Jerry Lawler was critical of the Ultimate Warrior's comic book. Yes, that was a real thing. Jerry was upset that Warrior didn't ask him to do the illustrations. Compelling storytelling, I know. Lawler later apologized, but Warrior didn't accept it, and the two got into a scuffle. This led to a match at the King of the Ring pay-per-view that the Warrior won relatively easily. Just as his WWE career was getting off the ground, it was about to end. A few weeks after King of the Ring, the Ultimate Warrior laced up his boots for his last match in WWE. The show opened with WWE President Gorilla Monsoon revealing that the Ultimate Warrior was suspended for no-showing events. Despite that, he would compete on tonight's episode of Raw. The Warrior made his signature energized and flashy entrance, while Warrior's opponent, Owen Hart, looked on from ringside. Hart tried to get the jump on the Warrior, but ended up getting thrown right back out. The fight got back in the ring, where Warrior served up Owen with slams, hip tosses, and a clothesline back to the outside. The Ultimate One catapulted his opponent back into the squared circle and then threw him up into the air. After that ride, Warrior gave Hart some punches to the face, a power slam-like move, and a sidewalk slam for good measure. The Ultimate Warrior was doing good, but Owen had some tricks up his sleeves. At first, Owen Hart's attacks didn't have any effect, but the abuse eventually caught up to Warrior. Owen tried to hit a suplex, but Ultimate Warrior countered. It looked like the Warrior splash was imminent, but Owen Hart denied it. Hart kept pounding on the Warrior, while also getting some showboating in. Even Hart's manager, Jim Cornette, got in on the action. It was clear Owen Hart's strategy was to not let Warrior get to his feet, and it was definitely working. When Warrior was able to stand, Owen Hart knocked him right back down. After an onslaught of abuse, Hart tried to finish the match with the sharpshooter, but Warrior managed to power out. That was the kick the Ultimate Warrior needed, as he started building up steam and nailed his signature clotheslines and shoulder tackle. The British Bulldog, who had come out out earlier, tried to attack Warrior but got clobbered. Vader then ran in, and the numbers became too great for the Ultimate Warrior. Owen Hart, British Bulldog, and Vader were all part of Jim Cornette's faction, which is why they teamed up. After this, the Ultimate Warrior wouldn't be seen in WWE until 2014, so this was a weird way to close out his WWE career. The reason for that was because the match was filmed weeks before it aired. The plan was for Warrior to team up with Shawn Michaels and Ahmed Johnson to take on Owen Hart, British Bulldog, and Vader. However, as mentioned, the Warrior got suspended in real life for no showing events. Unfortunately, WWE had already filmed this match and had to air it regardless. Psycho Sid ended up replacing Ultimate Warrior in the 3-on-3 tag team match. As for the Ultimate Warrior, he would eventually show up in WCW in 1998 and had a short run there as well. After that, he would take a 10-year hiatus from wrestling. He came out of retirement in 2008 for one more match in Spain. As you can tell from watching this, the relationship between the Ultimate Warrior and WWE was very bad, but they managed to patch things up in 2013 when Warrior was featured in WWE 2K14. Then, the Ultimate Warrior was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2014, something a lot of fans thought would never happen. Sadly, only 3 days after this, Warrior would die due to a heart attack. It was incredibly sad that he passed away so unexpectedly, but it was awesome to see the Ultimate Warrior and WWE make amends. Warrior's career and life were filled with controversy, but regardless, he'll always be an icon of WWE. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to download Fishing Clash by using the link below.